Writing letters can be a great way to let go of old baggage that we have left behind from the past. It can also be a huge step in moving forward with our lives by allowing us to heal old wounds. In this video, I'll talk about the process of me deciding to write letters, whether or not I plan on sending the letters, and then my decision to make each letter an open letter by sharing them on this YouTube channel. But first, my name is Janellis. I created this YouTube channel to share my personal journey towards trauma healing in a completely transparent way. It is my goal with this channel to enable myself and others to live a life filled with joy, trust, and fulfillment. If you would like to join me with this goal, please subscribe to my channel. I made the decision to start writing letters after I first decided to give journaling a try. I decided to give journaling a try one day when I was overwhelmed by the amount of thoughts that I had going on. I had so many thoughts, but I couldn't focus on a single one of them. So then I remembered that people in my past have mentioned journaling as a technique for them to help clear their own minds. And then I decided, why not give it a shot? So I sat down on my desk and then I picked up a pen and I just started writing. And I was surprised at how much I had to write. I wrote for about 10 to 15 minutes straight and I didn't take a single break. And then afterwards, I read through everything that I wrote and I was kind of surprised at all the thoughts that I had written down. I was surprised because a lot of the thoughts that I had, I knew I felt them deep inside, but I had a hard time verbalizing. And that's when it became clear to me that I sometimes have a hard time explaining how I feel and the things that I'm thinking to other people because I get so fixated on explaining it in a way for the other people to understand rather than just focusing on just airing out how I feel. So like some of the explanation and meaning would sometimes get lost in that translation. But by journaling and just writing down my thoughts and emotions just raw without any filter, I was able to clear out everything that I was feeling without feeling any guilt or concern about how my words might be taken. So after I did that, a couple days later, I found myself feeling a lot of anger and pain and hurt from how I was treated in the past by people who I now realize were toxic to me. Then I remembered the effect that journaling had on me, and I thought, what if I tried the same thing I did with journaling, but instead of writing in a journal format, I did that in a letter format. So with the first letter that I wrote, I gave it a try because I was just thinking of a specific person that was just really bringing me a lot of anger. Just to think of the role that they had in my life, the impact that they left behind, and how they probably don't even care. So after I wrote that letter, I felt the same relief that I felt from journaling, but it was just more intense. Like typically I feel a lot of stiffness in my chest and I just felt that relaxed a lot. Also, I noticed a strange feeling, well not strange, I noticed a new feeling I should say, of being more still. I felt more present and in the moment, and that was a feeling that I didn't realize I was missing in my life. I had gone so long without it that living without it became my new norm. And once I felt that, I decided to come up with a list of other people who I wanted to write letters towards. After coming up with this list, the big question that I had for myself was whether or not I wanted to send these letters to the people that I addressed them to. I ended up deciding to make the decision on a case-by-case basis after I finished writing the letters. The reason I decided to do this after I wrote the letters is because I want the letters to be a therapeutic release for me. And if I have it in my mind that I know for a fact I'm going to share the letters, I feel like I might censor myself or edit it or word it in a way that's more geared towards the person who they're addressed to understanding rather than just me airing out my grievances. With that said, I also made the decision to make a video for every letter that I'm choosing to write. I'm doing this because I feel like there are people who might relate to the things I write in my letters and it might help them in some way. I'm going to leave out information that I feel like might be too identifying, but other words, I'm going to keep in as much details so like that the letters remain as authentic as possible. The one or two letters that I've written so far have been such a huge help to me. So I hope by sharing them, other people can benefit from them as well. With that said, please let me know in the comments if you've ever thought about writing letters as a therapeutic way of releasing old baggage. And if you have, please share your experience with it. Did you share your letter? And if you did, was the letter well received? And please also let me know how you felt after you finished writing the letter. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you would like to further support my content, please go to patreon.com/yourfriendjanellis to become a member of my Patreon. As you may know, Patreon is a way for fans to support the content that they love on a monthly basis. Members of my Patreon enjoy the exclusive benefits of a chat community, live streams, and guaranteed access to me via direct messaging. By supporting my Patreon, you're allowing me to dedicate the time and effort necessary to create, edit, and upload new videos on a weekly basis. Thank you so much for your support, and I appreciate you all.